You are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Hello, Mr. Pete.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yeah, living the dream, mate. Living the dream. It's been a fucking hectic day, so I'm looking forward to just talking some shit about some figures.
Yep, definitely. Always good. I've got myself a nice little passion fruit recording here.
Oh, nice.
A summer
nice.
tipple, yeah. It's very nice.
I want the sparkling water because I'm hardcore.
Yes, mate, yeah.
So, yeah, fun and games. So, we have Takar 3 and Toy Mafia, who was here fucking ages ago.
Yeah, he's
As per usual.
back where he belongs.
So, look, I think we've got a good one today. I think we've got a good one. There's been plenty of funky little announcements.
Last couple of days been really, really busy with stuff, so it's good. It's good. It
Big
always
time.
works out well for us.
Yeah, because it's like up until like a day before, we're like, nope, there's fuck all.
Scratching around, we've got some real shit in there. And then we're like, oh, thank God Hot Toys have just knocked out about 6 figures. And we can get rid of all the rubbish stuff and we don't really want to talk about.
We can sort the wheat from the chaff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, right. Let's kick into it then with the with all the shit we bought over the last couple of days.
New this fortnight.
Go on, Pete. Show us your Star Wars haul.
Yes. So obviously we're all picking up this Snowspeeder Pilot Luke. Great figure. You've just got yours. Yours is
Today.
Spoiler. Yours is your new this fortnight. Had some trials and tribulations with getting that, but no, it's a great figure. Fantastic figure. Like we were saying, there's not a lot you can fault. There's a few little nitpicks, but it's a really solid figure. To the extent I thought I'm going to get a second one, and cruelly, I got my second one before you even got your first one.
Even the fuckers from Sideshow started to get theirs as well, and I was like, I should have just stuck with them.
Yeah. So, and obviously, in having taken the fat suit off the first one, it's the flight suit has got everything there that you need for X-Wing Luke. So I picked up a second one from Toys by an Agent and figured that if I sell off all the bits that I don't need, and they're quite popular at the moment, like the belt, the holster, the gun, the boots, all that stuff, because it's really good stuff. And a lot of people are using it for the DXO5s. Like I even sold the hairpiece because I'm going to have this with the helmet on. So people want the hairpiece. So I always knew that I could basically. I think at the moment he's probably cost me about 50 quid. I sell the jacket and the lightsaber, and he's pretty much free. So you can't knock it really.
No. That's the thing they're so fucking cheap that you just kind of go, even parting out, I'm just going to make my money back.
Yeah. So basically, ditch the Hoth jacket. The boots are just some like leather DID boots I've had for a long time. So I just cut them down because the X-Wing boots are a little bit shorter than they're not the full length. So just cut them down. The gloves, I was thinking I must have some gloves. They're possibly not the best, but they're from my Sideshow Biker Scout. They kind of work. They're okay. So then you've got the little mods, which I've sent you some 3D files for the actual stuff. But I thought, in the meantime, I'll mock up what I can. So it wasn't too bad. So the first thing I did was you see where I don't really know how it works because it goes into his pocket. That tube just goes into his pocket on the snow. So what is it doing? But on the X-Wing one, there's like a little port that it plugs into on his torso there. So basically, that's just a piece of leather and glued on to the suit, and then another piece of leather curled into a tube, and then just push that through. Does the job done. The little code cylinder things on his arm, they are nails with a little jewel stuck on the top, bit of wire wrapped around the top and painted silver. Does the job. The little the communicator on his arm there, and the thing is, the flight suit here has got the little indentation for it, so it's perfect. That's off one of the Sideshow Hoth gloves that I had. It's just the right size, so I painted it white and painted the buttons on and stuff, and that works really well. And I did fix the chin strap on this one. I know it's not technically wrong on the Snowspeeder one, because some scenes it is all white, some scenes it's got the black strap going through it.
Yeah.
But for the X-Wing, I definitely wanted the black strap going through it, so I've got a piece of leather, and I've actually made the indent and thread it through.
Yeah.
And then stuck it onto, left the two plastic bits that stick up, and stuck it onto there. And then what I've done is, because it made it thicker, and because I don't ever intend to have this, because I've got the Snowspeeder one with the helmet on, I put the flight cap on, the little cap thing, and then I've glued those two side bits to that, and then put the helmet on so it won't shift.
Yeah.
Because
that's the only thing that, one of the things that pisses me off about it is that there's so much in the helmet and his hat and these bits you poke in that's all loose, that every time you try and move his head, he ends up like all disheveled.
Yeah, something falls out or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went,
Well,
the helmet's not coming off.
You can't get him quite looking where he's meant to be, because it ends up like...
Or you end up, you push his goggles up too far, and then you can't get them down, and you've got to take the helmet off again, get them down, and it's, so really pleased with that. And he's going to end up costing me very little money as well. So, and that Sideshow one still goes for stupid money.
I noticed someone was selling one the other day for like 220 quid, and I was like, considering, before this one came out, you were looking at 500, 500, 600, I've seen people sell them for. I was thinking, it's come down a lot, but that's,
You get the Hot Toys one for that.
Yeah, for like a tenner more, you'll get the Hot Toys.
Not really. Some people might argue there's a couple of bits that are better on the Sideshow, which is normally the case, but it's only going to be little bits, like some of the tiny little bits. So I don't think it's worth it. I think you get the Hot Toys for the same sort of price. Yeah. No contest, really.
But I found that lately, that like the inferior, like 10, 15 year version of things, people want an absolute fortune for. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
And the head sculpts on the Sideshow ones are hideous.
Someone on eBay bought the Battlefront Snowtrooper 2-pack for 600 quid.
So I don't think that's that bad. I've seen it go for more than that.
It's fucking mental though, isn't it?
I've seen that go for £600 when a pound was worth a lot more to the dollar than it is now.
Yeah.
And that's always been the case. I'm glad I got one of the Snow Troopers early on, because I'd never pay for one now.
The gloves were fucking huge on it. It made everything it held look stupid.
Yeah, there's some weirds. The boots aren't good on it either, but
no,
and then to finish off the Star Wars haul, today I got in. This is so they're not. John will love it. They're essentially reissues. So these are the retro collection. So they're I suppose they're a second reissue, because the first retro ones were a reissue of the original 1970s figures, and then they all sold out, and they were going for stupid money, like 40, 50 quid each.
Yeah.
And I'd looked at them several times and thought, I'm not going to do that. And then this pops up on Hasbro Pulse. It was only about 6 weeks ago, because I remember it was on only 2 shows ago.
Yeah,
it
wasn't long ago.
No, and I wasn't expecting this till October, I think. And so when I got the thing saying, it's shipped out, I was like, all right, cool. So this is a reissue of the ones that came out a couple of years ago. So I got the box out, and I thought, are they not carded? Because the box seems really small. But you forget how small the cards are for the 3.75. So you open the box up, and it's got all 6 of them slotted in, on the retro cards and stuff. So for 75 quid, £12.50 a figure. So I couldn't not. And I see them going. They must have sold out on Pulse, because there's one on eBay at the moment, bids, and it's over 110.
Really?
So yeah. Because to buy them loose, the first release, it cost you way more than that. So I suppose if you didn't get on the pulse, it's still a cheapest way of buying them. But so I don't know. I assume they'll probably do the other waves, but there's only been one other original trilogy wave, which was Wave 2, which was the Empire Strikes Back, which I might pick up, which is Boba Fett, Lando, Yoda, Hoth, Han, Leia, Snowspeeder Luke, one other. But I'm not so bothered about them. It's the New Hope ones I wanted. So I'm hoping that one day they'll release the other 6 that were of the original 12, as they call them.
Yeah,
I'd be happy with those 2 sets. So yeah, that was cool. Yeah, back to my youth, back to my first ever collecting really of Star Wars figures.
Very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Very
I do
cool.
like those ones. I've got like I said, that retro by Ronnie down on the seafront. They've got, just because they do house clearances and all kinds of stuff. They've always got tubs of old vintage Star Wars figures, and I picked up the Hoth Luke, the Hoth Han, one of the Jabba's Palace guards. I pretty much went through and picked out all the ones like Skiff Lando. Like I picked out all the ones I had when I was a kid, and I put them in one of those big frames with like some black backgrounds. They're all just there on this big frame thing I've got. Because I was
and
like,
they come with all the weapons and stuff, or are they just sort of loose?
No, these are just loose. They're like a couple of quid each, so they're loose, played with, beaten up. But that's how I remember them, because that's how I got them when I was a kid. Was they were beating the shit then?
Scrape off the nose and stuff like that.
That's it. Yeah, we can get to the black plastic underneath.
Yeah,
that's it.
Although, did Lando have the rubbery helmet? Because I used to love that. The skiff guard.
I've never seen him with the helmet in real life.
That was cool. He did have one originally. Yeah. It's just a soft rubber that would just go straight on.
But you probably like it. You probably like that shop because they have like they send stuff away to be slabbed and graded and stuff.
Yeah.
And they have like this original set all slabbed and graded for like fucking a fortune, and you can get them individually all slabbed and graded and carded. And what they do with some sets, like say with this, is they would have the box in a slab, and then in front of that you have. So say they did it with the X-01 from the Ghostbusters cartoon. So they had the box behind it, and this is all in one acrylic block. So they've got the box behind it in its own separate acrylic box. Then you had in front of it, you had the actual X-01, and then you had the sticker sheet that was in a slab like that, and then you had all the different bits of it, but it was all in one big slab, like a big sealed box. So it was like a ready-to-go display with it all in there in pristine condition. It looked really, really good.
Yeah.
Absolute fucking fortune.
Exactly.
Really, really good.
I know, I'm sure I could definitely... whereabouts is it?
It's down in Goring.
Okay. If I'm ever down that way, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's worth having a look. Cool.
So we kind of sport your one, but...
yeah, it finally arrived after...
Yay.
How long? About a month, I reckon, by the time Sideshow started shipping theirs and decided to leave me out. And then I went to the Devil and Toys Blunderland. And they were like, the thing is, right, is it took ages to get here, right? I mean, it was relatively cheap. It took an absolute age to get here. Like, it seemed I had to chase them for them to even ship it. And then when they did ship it, it was like it's left Hong Kong for like 5 days. It had left Hong Kong. Like, I don't know what the fuck had gone on, but it finally arrived. It turned up today, and this is it, just straight out of the box, shoved on the stand. I quite like it. There's a couple of bits that I think are a little bit shitty. I don't know why they didn't give you a gloved pistol holding hand.
No, it's
only
not
because. When you look at the box, when you look at all the promos for it, he's holding that pistol in a gloved hand, but they always angle it in a way that you can't quite see how he's holding it. So he's just holding the grip like that. Like, there's no, like...
No, and it'll be one of those weird things that, because he never held the blaster with the gloves on screen, then they haven't included it.
No. So all I'm going to do is run a blade down one of the fingers.
Same people do it. Yeah.
And just to release the finger, because then the finger will fit in the trigger, and I'll be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the figure itself is fantastic. There's not really anything there I can pick apart too much. Mine doesn't seem to have any kind of neck to it. He's very like bunched up, but I think a lot of that is to do with the fact he's wearing a stupid fat suit. It
will improve it. Once you take that off, then you'll be able to pull the jacket down a little bit more. The sleeves will come down further, which obviously if you've got the gloves on doesn't matter, but you will find that it won't bunch up quite as badly. Now,
I really like the stand. It's way too big, so I'm never going to use it. But when I saw on the bottom it had two little eyelets and you could hang it upside down, I thought, fantastic, that's a great idea. I can stick it at the top of one of these cubes. I can have him just hanging down, and then he's not actually taking up any of my shelf space, because the thing with these is they're great. You can get a lot in there, but there's also a lot of dead space.
Yeah, yeah.
So I could get it hanging down from the top, like in the middle, and fantastic. It's not taking up too much room. One thing I don't like, though, is the fact you can't take the name badge off, the little nameplate.
Yeah.
So if I use it, it's upside down. And I can't be doing with that. That's not where I want. And I get the little crotch grabber, like waist grabbery bit that you put in is quite stiff. I get that, because it has to be if you're hanging it upside down.
Yeah.
I get the impression that's going to work its way loose over time, because it's only held in by friction. In my head, the simplest solution would have been because they're effectively a V shape that goes into the hole in the stand, is to have a little hole in the middle with a little nubbin that you just push through, which means that if it ever was to go, it's going to go like that on the little nubbin, and it won't pull out. So I might have to piss about with it like that if I want to hang it and have him hanging down, because I like the grappling hook. I think that's a really good design, and I like the way it hooks onto his belt, and I just think it's fantastic, because I've had a snow speeder Luke before, but it was a kit bash one that someone had put together, and they've done a really good job. I think what they've done is they've taken the yellow jacket off of the Sideshow ceremony Luke, dyed it orange, stuck a few bits to it, and it looked really good, and it worked. And eventually I moved it on because I was a fucking idiot. But I'm liking this. I'm not a big fan of the sculpt, if I'm honest. I think once you have the helmet and stuff on it, not a problem. Yeah. But without, it just looks a bit weird. But now it's left me in a conundrum where I'm like, I've got this fucking thing, and I'm like, well, what the fuck do I do with this now? Because I don't have room for it in my Empire display, and this is the battle damaged one. So it's not like if I sell it tomorrow, I can upgrade when the new one comes out, because there won't be a new one.
No, just a clean one,
Yeah, so I don't know what to do with it. I could shift it off cheap or try and put it somewhere, but it's starting to get a little bit... I mean, luckily the boots are really good on this. They've held up absolutely fine. The belt's okay. I've had to glue a little bit on.
Have you not got the... Did you not get the pole with him?
I sold it ages ago.
Yeah, I thought you... I knew you had it at some point.
I've had it about 3 times over. Yeah. It's just so big. Because even to get it in one of these, I had to cut it down. Okay. It's just too big, and and it doesn't really do anything. Like no. He hangs off it, and you're like, actually, of all the cool stuff Luke Skywalker did, do you really want a version of him?
It's not a cool look, is it? Yeah, with his hand missing,
hand cut off, absolutely fucked, hanging off a weather vane. Yeah, it's not.
No, it's not a good look, is it?
When we talk about iconic looks for Luke,
exactly,
it's not really one of them.
No.
So, but my problem with this one, though, is like every time you bend the leg, because of where that cut is, it always bends in a weird way. It never looks right. It always looks as though you've messed up the leg, like it's not lined up properly, although it is inside. And he's,
I think, to be honest, it shows its age a bit in that, I think, in that respect. Yeah. I've got one, and it's okay as I've got it, but Yeah.
It's got some weird stain on his leg as well. I never
Oh
noticed
dear, bit of seepage.
that. Yeah, look there.
Oh, hang on, let's have a look.
Look there. You just don't make it out.
Ooh.
I'm like, what the fuck's that about? Oh well, I'll do something with him. So yeah, anyway, that's me rambling for a bit. But yeah, Snowtrooper, I'm loving. That one I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with. And then hopefully, so I got my notification, they generated a shipping number for Boba, so that should turn up. And then, other than Patrick Bateman...
You should tell the listeners about that, because they don't know.
Oh, yeah. So, I hate Toys Wonderland. Bastards. I fucking hate them. But, so I had to go get this from them because they were pretty much the only place I could get hold of one, and they were cheaper than everyone else. So I thought, okay, I'll give them a go. And they've taken fucking ages to actually ship it and get it out. And then they had a sale, and everyone's going, "Oh, everything's super cheap on there." So I thought, I'll go in and I'll have a look. So I had a look, and they had the fucked up pigeon ship Boba, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that looks pretty shit. Let me just do the conversion on it." And went, hang on a sec, that's £140 something, and I was like, that's ridiculous. For some reason, and I don't know how this is a legitimate business model for anyone, but you get so much money off through the points just ordering. So I've this is probably my 5th order I've ever had in my life with them. The first 3 pretty much knocked like 30 quid off of this Luke. And then just that Luke alone knocked like another 20 quid off of Boba. So I was like, all in all, I think I paid 130 at the most.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, I could for 130 quid. In my head I was thinking, this screams to me of a business that's going under. Like they're just trying to get as much in as they possibly can, and they take a load of orders and then disappear. But to be fair on them, they've said they've raised a tracking number, so we'll see what happens. But
so
yeah,
they keep waving that pooey carrot at you, going, "Come on in, come back to the dark side."
Exactly. But honestly, after this Boba, it's my last.
Yeah, that's it.
Last.
Yeah, I've heard it before. I like to think you'd stick to it, but even to Alid, nice to have you, mate. He's got his Scout Trooper and OG Speeder in today, and we're going to get onto that very next slide, I believe.
So look, let's go straight into it with
new releases.
And here he is.
Boom! Here he is, the polished up Mando Scout Trooper. I mean, sorry, it's Return of the Jedi Scout Trooper, and repainted bike. I mean, Return of the Jedi bike. Yeah, I think this looks good. This caused all kinds of kerfuffle, I think, in the community, which did fucking crap me up. You had people going, it's just a cleaned up version of the Mando one, and in my head I'm going, yeah, because
what did you expect?
That's kind of what it is. And then other people going, well, they shouldn't have made it exactly the same. They're both the same bits of armour. The only thing I think they probably could have done...
It's not exactly the same.
Well, the only thing I think they could have done is not use the same head sculpt and maybe close that gap up, because that gap there is just there from the Mando because it didn't fit the guy's head.
Yeah, although I think there is I think the brow is slightly different.
Is it?
I think it's flatter on this one than the Mando one. I'd have to pull it up, but when they solicited it, it didn't look like it was exactly the same. The top is different.
The best one I saw was people were going, yeah, but the nappy bit sits lower on the Mando one, and I was like, it does pull up, it is a separate bit. Like you can, like my Mando one, I've got it right up because I don't like the big weird midriff thing you get otherwise. But
yeah, and that's probably the criticism that they haven't cleaned that up enough. That's probably a little bit too sandy looking, that piece, that torso piece. It might need a bit of a bleaching, but yeah, no, it looks good. They've obviously put the knee pads on the right way up. not that was a mistake. That was a deliberate thing in the Mandalorian, but obviously, I think it looks really good. I've got
I like it.
I've got the Scout Trooper on order. Bit of a weird one. I'm just trying to. I've got it with Toys by an Agent. I paid 50% for second batch, but the weird thing is I haven't. Not ordinarily we'd be in. We're still in first batch territory, and obviously you normally pay a premium for first batch, but weirdly he's got stock and it's sitting on the website to order now, about 50 Hong Kong dollars less than I actually pre-ordered it for. So I've messaged him a couple of times and said, well, why aren't you invoicing me if you've got stock sitting there?
Yeah.
There is no. Is there actually a second batch? And even if there is, surely you want to just shift all the ones you've got at the moment. So I'm not sure why I haven't been invoiced for that yet. It should be coming in, but hopefully soon. I'm not in any hurry because I've got the Sideshow one with the bike anyway. So it doesn't matter, but it's just a bit frustrating when
when you can see them sit there on the website.
Yeah, and it's like ordinarily, like you said, you cancel it and reorder it, but because I've paid 50%, it's not quite as straightforward. So hopefully he'll message me back. But I like it. It looks good.
Yeah, because they're saying this is what 190 quid for the Trooper,
Yeah.
and then 390 for the bike.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with the bike, it comes with the Trooper. So
Yeah, but it's interesting because you can pick up the Mando one so cheap now. Like people are selling that for like 200 quid with the bike.
Yeah, I was going to sell mine on its own, and then I saw that people were struggling to get 130, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'd rather keep it and fuck about with it because actually, it's not a bad figure. Like, and like I said, with a couple of like tiny adjustments. See if I can get it without unplugging myself. Oh no!
Oh, what's he done?
What I did do, which was a pain in the arse, it's the suit's super tight, and I ended up ripping the zip. Well, not the zip, the Velcro. So I had to glue it back with some hot glue on the back. But yeah, like you just pull the fucking nappy up, and the cunt's fine. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
I was tempted to have a go at trying to remove some of the grime and fuck about with it, but it's a decent figure. And like, if the new one, if the Return of the Jedi one is half as good or even exactly the same, just repainted with a rifle, fucking grab it. 190 quid's blinding. I mean, fucking how much was it? How much were the Sideshow ones going for at one point?
Oh, stupid money. Over 300.
Fucking, yeah.
And now people are struggling to get like 150 for them now.
Yeah. It's just it's mental. I mean, the best thing about this Scout, and I'm glad they kept it for the Return of the Jedi, are the boots.
Yeah.
That material
is
absolutely fantastic. Because look at that.
Yeah.
I could have the cunt flying, not a problem.
Which is cool because obviously the Sideshow one had a separate pair of boots for him to ride the bike because they were so stiff and fixed.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
you can get so much out of these by just having. I wish they would just adopt this for everything.
Yeah.
Because if that was black material, it pass off as leather easy. It's so easy, and you could the range of motion you get out of that is just when I'd rather have that than silly little metal bullets. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that just makes way more sense.
That's the kind of innovation that makes sense.
Yeah. When they get stupidly low, I might pick another one up and have a couple of Scout Troopers because they are my favourite design. Like,
I absolutely love them. I loved them as a kid. I always call them. I like the fact that I like calling them biker scouts because that's what they used to call them.
Yeah. That's all I've
biker scout. Yeah.
Because it doesn't quite make sense for them just to be general scouts.
No.
Because why would you have a scout that's bright white?
Yeah, so they ride bikes, so they're biker scouts. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Like it makes sense with the biker stuff.
Yeah, I think it looks fantastic. I'm really not bothered about that helmet gap. I would not be displaying him side on, so it will never notice. it's really a nitpick. It's lazy, but then that's they're a company. They're going to do stuff to save a bit of money here and there, aren't they? So I'm totally fine with that.
I don't know what happened. Then we just started breaking.
You froze. But I kept talking.
Yeah, I don't know. I think looking at it. No, I'm on my extension. Why is it?
You're all right now.
Oh no, I'm not. That's annoying. Hang on, 2 seconds.
Oh, you got. Yep.
There we go. That should be better now. I've just
you weren't
switched
connected
over.
to the extension. Okay.
No. So for some weird reason, my computer decided it was just going to hook straight onto the main Wi-Fi instead of the extender.
Yeah. Right.
So it did well to last as long as it did before it decided it was going to fuck us over. So there'd be a bit of interesting editing there, I think, for the people listening at home. But yeah.
Cool.
Boba, the arena suit version, 417 quid.
It's gone crazy, this thing, isn't it?
I'll tell you what. You send me a tin of black paint, some black dye, and your Boba. I'll print you the axe and I'll fucking do it. I'll do it for 200.
Yeah.
I mean, I like this, and I've liked this design for quite some time. I was thinking about doing one.
So you've read the comic, then I take it.
The
so I know nothing about it.
So I've dipped in and out of the comic, and what I want them to come out with it in hardback, has a complete set, the War of the Bounty Hunters, as opposed to going. Yeah. I get a couple here and then pick it, because that's the thing with me in comics is I wait until they're in hardback, so I don't have to go. I've read 5 pages this week. I've got to wait till next week to get another 5 pages.
Yeah, Sharpie Boba Fett, definitely. Oh yeah, I hate reading comics because there's like 4 pages of content, the rest is adverts or some other shitty story that you couldn't give a damn about. Yeah, and it's cost you £4, and it's like
I'd much rather have the complete.
Yeah, that's all I buy. Hardback.
Yeah, that's all I do as well. Because so the War of the Bounty Hunters is set between Empire and Return of the Jedi, and effectively between taking Han Solo from Cloud City to Jabba, he gets stolen from Boba, and it's Boba trying to get him back. And at one point he has to fight in an arena, but he doesn't want people to know it's him, so he paints his suit black, calls himself. Can't remember the name of the character, but it's in old canon before they rewrote everything. It was meant to be Jango, Jango Fett's mentor or something. It's the same name.
So when we all laughed at him for repainting his armor in The Mandalorian, he's got 4.
He's done it before.
He's done it before.
He's done it before. He's done it before.
And he put it back. Well, it would explain why he's got slightly different colours in Return of the Jedi.
The only thing
red gauntlets and stuff.
That is true. He does like he's a murderer of a paintbrush. He loves it.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think is a bit funny in this is the dent in the helmet and the dent in his codpiece. If he's repainted his armour, he's not exactly going to scratch that off after. And it's not like he's going to keep getting hit in the same 2 spots over and over again for it to dent again. No. So it's a bit weird. But on the whole, I really like it, but I'm just not paying near enough 500 quid for it. It just ain't happening.
And because I think Zach said it's a very low run, it's like 300 or something of this. Yeah. Which would explain why it's gone through the roof. But
do you remember when Dark Side Anakin came out? So that was a con exclusive to begin with. Yeah. Very limited numbers. And then they realised they dropped a bit of a bollock because everyone wanted one. And then 6 months later, it came out in general release. Yeah. So, there is form for Toy Fair exclusives to end up becoming just standard releases. So, I wouldn't rush out.
No, wait on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not being funny as well. Like if you really are desperate for it, this is a piece of piss custom to do. Yeah. It's really easy. Black Rit dye and some paint. High gloss black. That's because Hot Toys don't like with their black chrome stuff and that. It's not chrome. It's
just very shiny black.
It's just very, very shiny. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's
I quite
not
like the base looks quite nice.
Mm.
It's such a sand base, but it's quite nice. It's nice.
It's probably the only
solid-looking
sand base
thing.
Hot Toys have done in a while that I like.
Well, and it's got without footprints in it as well.
Yeah. But on the whole, I think this is pretty good.
Yeah. Of the three, it's easily my favourite, but not one that I'm looking to pick up. But,
it's a lot of money for what it is. A lot of money.
Yeah.
But
so then,
it could always
this
be
one
worse.
is the one that I could give no shits about. None
So,
at all, mate. Yeah.
None at all. So this is Neo from The Matrix Resurrections, £255. I didn't like the film.
No, I never watched it.
The figure's pretty bare bones. I quite like some of the effects you get with it, but
yeah,
they're not going to look like that.
No.
And this could be any Keanu Reeves figure from anything because he looks the same in everything.
Yeah, you got to be a proper hardcore fan to want to get this.
I mean, you could probably argue the toss and say some people that wanted the original Neo might, because they want a Neo in their collection, get it, but it was just such a bad film.
Yeah, and the original one, it's got, it's a decent figure. It's got a shitload of guns, cool tactical suit and stuff. This is just black. Yeah.
I get the impression they only did it because InArt showed that they were going to, but I don't even think InArt.
They're not going to now, apparently. Yeah.
No.
They saw this and went, do you know what? It's going to look. There's not even much we can do with this.
No, it sounded good on paper, and then they turn around.
And obviously, with their pricing, love it or not, they've got to make sure that it's something that people really want. And I think this one is not. It's not a banker. It's not one that they can guarantee they're going to shift a lot of units. And if it's £500,
if they release this as a normal release, this would be one that would £150 in like a year's time. No one wants it.
Yeah.
Or it'd be one of the figures that's parting out massively for the bits.
Well, people will want the bullet effects and stuff, and maybe even the little pill pot, and that's
the head sculpts. People would probably want that.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's not the best. Not the best, mate. And then we have another Iron Man. I don't even know what that is in Roman numerals, but this is the holographic
It's 85.
version.
85, of course. They're killing
85.
that one off to death, the 85, yeah.
This is the holographic version with a horrendous gap in the crotch for £358.
It looks okay. It looks like it's Mr. Freeze Iron Man. It's got a cool icy look to it. It's okay, but not interested.
No, I saw it was very much like.
How about new?
Just no. I'd rather have.
Yeah.
I would rather have Neo.
Would you?
Yeah.
No. If I had to have one of those two, definitely this guy. But so all in all, I think a bit disappointing to start with. The Toy Fair ones. Bob was okay, but yeah.
Listerine Iron Man.
Nice Listerine Man. Yeah.
Mint suit Iron Man. Carlito, let's have a look. What do you make at the holographic Mark 85 being limited to 2 on Sideshow? Do you think it will sit like Neon Tech Mark 50 or sell out due to limited quantities? I think it's going to sit there. I think people have had enough of this fucking Neon Tech and fucking whatever this... What is it? Holographic. I mean, what the fuck's holographic about this? They sprayed it blue.
It's got a see-through plastic panel on the front. Looks like the only thing that's vaguely holographic.
The thing is, I think we've got more choice now, and people haven't got the disposable income they used to have. So whereas you might get some smart arse who's feeling a bit frivolous, going, "Yeah, I'll have the Listerine Iron Man," I don't think they will.
No, it's not. No.
Marvel. I think Marvel need to jump back in their films and really capture everyone like they did before. because at the moment that they're just not. They're doing, their TV programs are okay. Some are better than others. The last few films I've seen, other than Doctor Strange, are probably not that bothered about.
No.
So it kind of makes me think, well, I could fill up my cabinets with Iron Man figures from fucking 5-6 years ago, and spray paint them a different colour, but it's just not worth it.
Yeah, and I don't even know where this guy comes from. Like, what the...
No, I just think it's it's just a variant. If it was a bit cheaper, maybe people would, but it's a lot of money for what it is.
Yeah, and obviously the key feature of these things is they're basically available for immediate release, aren't they? They're solicited and they're out. So although this is the first time you might have seen these, they're actually already out. You've not got to wait your obligatory 18 months to 2 years to get them.
And the rest.
Yeah.
So this next one I think is probably is better. I quite like this. This is the 3-0 Stranger Things 11 for 180 quid.
I think this range is pretty cool. I think it's a line that I'd like to collect, but again, as you say, like money is so tight and precious at the moment that it's not a line that I'm going to branch out into. But I think they're doing a good job. I think the guy that had this was saying that the sculpt is really good, but the paint's a bit flat. And you can kind of see that there. I think with the repaint, it could look really good.
The frowning one looks a lot better than the normal.
Yeah, with the nosebleed one,
face.
I think that's the one to go with. But yeah, and we've seen Dustin, we've got Lucas later on in the show, and they all look pretty good. They all look really good, to be honest. So
I think you can probably level the same criticism on all of them. I mean, most of the 3-0 stuff is normally quite sculpted quite well, but the paint's always a little bit hit and miss. Yeah,
and that's true because I've like we're going to get onto there's a Game of Thrones figure later, and I've looked at a lot of those, and I've been very tempted. Like there was the what's her name? The large Brienne of Tarth.
Phasma.
Fantastic figure. Armor, the weapons, everything. Really good sculpts, but really naff paint. And I think every time, and also I was looking at Jorah Mormont as well. That looks really cool as well. But again, you need to get them repainted because they're not doing the sculpts justice. Yeah, I think Punisher looks like a €120 figure to me. Probably a little bit pricey to be honest, but that's just the way that. It's just the way everything's gone. I think this would have been 120 quid 3-4 years ago, kind of where the Harry Potter stuff was from Star Race back then. But just the way everything's gone, it's just all, it's all gone up 50%, hasn't it, in the last 3-4 years, unfortunately. And that would be the reason why I'm not going to get into this line because it's too much. But I think it's come out all right. Quite like that.
And then one for Dean, we have the VTS Toys former First Class Soldier. So to everyone else, it's the Final Fantasy Cloud. They do a standard for 185 and a deluxe for 235. Fuck knows what the difference is.
I assume it's that base, is it probably?
I imagine so.
I could only find this one picture, so I'm not sure. Dean will know. I like the little cactus guy.
Yeah, I think this looks pretty. It's been years since I played Final Fantasy.
This is from the remake, obviously.
Yeah. But I think this looks pretty good, and it's weird because for years there wasn't that many Final Fantasy figures in 6 scale. Then all of a sudden, there's like shitloads of Cloud, lots of Cloud.
They're all Cloud, aren't they? There's not really a lot to go with him. I think they did his dog.
Has he got a dog?
No, it's a cat or something. Is it a dog or a cat? Like a big orange thing. Wolf, maybe?
Nah, no idea.
Okay.
Like I said, it's been years since.
Yeah.
But on the whole, I think this is pretty good.
Yeah, no, it looks alright.
I think it's all right.
I played the original a long time ago, but I've not played
same here.
the
I want to play the remake, but it's never cheap enough for me to want to give it a punt. so I don't bother. So look, that was the whole like 5 or 6 things that actually came out.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at what they're teasing us with next.
Coming soon.
It's the Deal or No Deal Jedi.
Yeah.
Noel Edmonds himself. Right, so Obi-Wan. So this is the DX26. There's nothing deluxe about them anymore.
No.
So this is the TV version. So the regular is $230. The special edition is $260, and they're at Q4 2023 to Q1 2024.
We're into 2024. Yep.
Equan. It's not from the game. It's from the animated sequel movie ages ago.
Okay.
Thank you. Fair enough. That was Cloud. I thought this is a really weird one to do as a kind of summer fair. Is summer fair exclusive?
It's a summer showcase thing.
Yeah, to release as a summer showcase. William H. Macy. Yeah,
I've seen it. He's looks like everyone other than Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
You know, I see a bit of Russell Crowe in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not a great sculpt. I hope they
Nice.
redo it.
You've got Josh Brolin. Yeah. I mean,
I thought this was a weird one to start off with.
yeah.
He's fun. I thought we were going to get like a disguised version. And then I really thought we were going to get disguised version, Vader, and then this version.
Well, I suppose because this is the version where he fights Vader, isn't it? If they're going to bring the Vader out, I suppose it makes sense. So it's kind of like a darker grey version of his normal outfit with those weird boots with like the rolled over tops, which I'm not a big fan of, like fisherman's boots or something. But
Yeah. I mean, I like the accessories. I like the way they're finally giving us a USB lightsaber.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that's whether it's just as weak, but just will last longer than or whether they'll beef up the LED in it. And
I reckon what you're going to have is you will have it will work. It will be exactly the same. You'll get a wire come out where the batteries normally go, and it will go down its arm. It will come out its armpit. It go into its back, and then there'll be a slit or something at the back where it comes out, and you trade it down. And then you plug it in. But knowing Hot Toys, they give you a really, really short cable on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be handy if it was like super bright, but I generally don't go for light up features anyway because I don't like wires everywhere, and I don't.
The problem you've got is
like fucking around with batteries.
Any situation where you're literally just lighting it from the hilt and shining it up the blade, it's always going to get weaker towards the end anyway. There's the only way to do it properly, if you like, is with CCFL, because obviously that lights all the way up. But I'm interested. I hope it is an improvement. And obviously that's quite a, is it innovative? It should have been done years ago, but for Hot Toys it is, I suppose. So.
The thing with this is people are going in hardcore on the sculpt, which it deserves it. Don't get me wrong.
It's awful. Yeah.
It's not great. Oddly enough, the one on the left I don't think that looks too bad. It's that one on the right.
It's awful. It's very puffy.
It looks like he's been stung by bees.
Yeah,
but I'm not a fan of the Revenge of the Sith sculpts. Everyone says
it's not.
Great.
It's not great. It's not. It never was great, and I think people are seeing it through. Yeah,
I don't remember all of this shit with that. I really don't. But to me, it looks just as bad.
Well, I moved it on because of that, because I couldn't get on with the sculpt.
Yeah.
And I kind of regret that now, because obviously there's better options for the head, and obviously the price for him's ridiculous. But purely on the head sculpt, I moved that figure on, and I'd picked him up for something ridiculous, like 150 quid or something, and that's 3-4 years ago. But yeah, so I never rated that one anyway. This looks slightly worse, but it's in that same sort of ballpark, really.
I mean, like, head sculpts aside, I like the accessories you get. I like the base; it's pretty cool.
And then the one in the second, so not the one on the very left, but the next one in where it looks more brown. That's Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
It's so Wayne Rooney, that one.
Yeah, I've seen that. He's got that leer like he's looking at a load of old age pensioners.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's got the granny porn out. Yeah, it's a shame, because I think we're all really excited to get the first Obi-Wan reveal, and it's a bit like, oh, they fucked the head up. I know there's plenty of time to get it right, but it's a bit. Yeah.
It just, I think, is it Punisher XS says, I think Hot Toys are giving us the USB and real leather jacket for Wolverine, so they can compete with Queen Studios. It makes me laugh though, because it's 100% that they're trying to compete now. But the stuff they're giving you and the stuff they're pumping out now, these little extra bits, are shit that third party companies have been doing for years. I don't know why all of a sudden Queen is making them up their game when real leather jackets and shit have been going on for quite some time. It just seems funny that they're worried people are jumping over to Queen, and they're no longer that top tier. If Hot Toys just adjusted their pricing a bit, they'd stomp all over them, but they just won't.
I think the thing is that I can't imagine that Hot Toys will ever let Queen get hold of the Star Wars license.
No chance.
They're not competing like for like with Star Wars.
But then it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Because Sideshow have been doing 6-scale Star Wars figures, albeit they were doing animated, which we'll talk about later. But they also did Lando, the Skiff Guard. There's still
but Howard's seen their figures and he's not worried.
No. But it shows that
it is
that
weird.
Other companies can still.
And let's not forget that the InArts license is only for China. The fact that we can all get hold of it in this day and age. So, technically they could get a Star Wars license for China, but then nobody gives a shit about Star Wars in China, so they probably wouldn't go for it. It is interesting, definitely. And if it does drive a bit of innovation, then all the better, really.
Yeah, so that was Obi, or Edmonds. Everything else looks great apart from the sculpts. And then we've got this blast from the past. Hot Toys X-Men Days of Future Past Wolverine.
50 years in the past.
Yeah. The 1973 version. The DX regular edition is 240 and the special edition is 270. It's out Q4 2023 to Q1 2024.
It took me a good 20 minutes to work out all the differences here, because they did this before with Luke from the Mando, and it's so stupid. So you've basically got the deluxe version that comes with the display base, and you've either got a normal version or you've got a special edition one that comes with the Sentinel forearm. The regular version doesn't have the base, and you have the option of having the Sentinel forearm or not. So 4 different flavours of Wolverine there.
Fair enough.
He's got the nice seamless arms, which is good. That's the first time that Hot Toys have had anything like that.
The problem is, to be able to use the seamless arms properly, you've got to practically take off half the clothes.
Yeah, because otherwise you wouldn't see him.
Yeah.
So,
But it's a good figure. It looks pretty cool. But it's unbelievably random. I don't know why all of a sudden.
No, and as you was,
they've got a real issue with foreheads.
Yeah, that's a huge forehead. I mean,
like that's a cracker. That's
bad,
like
isn't it? Because
that's like Ant and Dec.
Because the hair adds so much height to his head anyway. It just looks even worse, doesn't it?
He had a bit of a big forehead in it, but it wasn't like starting his hair up here.
It looks alright. It looks alright on the right, but the one on the left looks really bad.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, it's just really random, and I had one of there were third party outfits for this.
Yeah.
Way back, and 6-7 years ago.
I've owned
the film
this
was
figure.
out, and
I've owned it.
Me too.
It's just I don't want
it
anymore.
So it's okay, but I don't know why anyone would want it now.
I mean, everything about it's impressive.
Yeah.
But
and the leather jacket is good.
It's one of those. Days of Future Past wasn't an amazing film. It was all right.
Yeah.
This was one of his better looks. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's cool look. Yeah. Although I bet they've not made the belt out leather.
No, of course
so
that'd be clever. But,
exactly.
It's great. Okay, real leather jacket. We've seen people like Present Toys do that. We've we've had that for quite some time. The forearms, we've seen that happen before.
Yeah. I like the picture on the bottom right here from the front. He's got his real Saturday Night Fever strut on there. He's heading down to Studio 54.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going for it. He's absolutely going for it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Lane, that bone claw bit,
bone claws.
Can almost guarantee that you will be able to work those loose and just slot in blades from another one. It shouldn't, or you get different set of forearms and you just make little cuts in them and put them in.
Yeah. But then you're going to get the whole idea is that in 1973 you didn't have adamantium, so it's one of those things, isn't it?
No. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was Wolverine from
we've got
years ago.
Guile from Andy will be recasting that one for his Guile figure when Iconic gets to that. Yeah,
you can have a Hugh Jackman Guile.
Yeah.
Cool. And then while we're in the past, we've also got the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
Spidey for £230 out Q3, Q4 2023. People are saying this is the same sculpt as before, just repainted.
And they're labelling it from Amazing Spider-Man 2, aren't they? So it's not it's not a No Way Home version.
No. I don't think it is the same sculpt. It looks different.
It looks improved. Whether or not it's it might be too young because obviously it's based on might be too young for the Far From Home look, and obviously they've sorted the hands out, haven't they? Because he hasn't got those weird half magnetic hands that the original one had. I owned the original one. It was a decent figure.
Yeah, I had the first one.
Right. Yeah.
Which the suit was slightly different to this, wasn't it? The Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, it was very different than the first one.
That's it. The Amazing.
It was really light blue, a lot of light blue on it.
That's the one I had. Mm-hmm. Selene says supposedly the Spider-Man will be solo or deluxe with the lizard base. So they are doing the lizard base separately. But, if they do it with it, fantastic. Look, this doesn't offend me. It's okay. I quite like the suit. I've seen people with the original one mod this into a slightly different Spider-Man, the Todd McFarlane one with the big eyes. It's an alright Spider-Man. It doesn't offend me. It's pretty bare bones for the price.
And where's Toby? Like, why haven't they announced the Toby Maguire
That's the
one
one everyone to go mental for is
Tobes. I mean, obviously they're holding him back, but for when we don't know.
But as Lane says, there's also a lizard base, which is £130 on its own at Q4 2023 to Q1 2024. So you have to wait a little bit longer for the base.
It's just weird, and obviously this is tagged as No Way Home, and he's got the anti-lizard spray, whatever you want to call it, from that film. So it's just odd that they didn't. It would have made more sense to label the other one as a No Way Home. Maybe it's a licensing
thing where they I don't know. The lizard has No Way Home, which is why they've done them separate.
It's an odd one, but
basically it's cool.
Yeah, it does. A lot of money to spend on a base, but it's
but there's a third party lizard you can get, so I would probably just fuck the base off and get the figure, because I don't think the third party figure was too much more than this.
No, we had that on a few shows ago. It was pretty good, wasn't it? We said that there was no point in buying the human version with just the one arm, but the lizard looks alright. So.
Yeah, the lizard wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
So, while we're on big fucking ugly things, we've got the infamous The Gravel. I love that name, The Gravel. £150 out Q4 2022.
So this is Korg, Thor's mate from Gladiator Thor. Hilarious doing the character.
Big boys again.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're kind of specialising in these. They're done with the whatever they were called, the Thanos's lackeys and
that's it.
What were they called? The Black Order or something like that. So a very inventive name there, The Gravel, like it. I saw the film on Saturday. We'll talk a little bit about it later. I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of I've heard a lot of criticism of it, but like I was saying to you just before we came on air, I don't mind because I kind of I see the Thor films as quite like comedies, really. Very light-hearted. Yeah, they're a little bit light on story maybe, but it's all about like the interaction and the he's got some great scenes with the Guardians at the beginning and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed it, and I laughed all the way through it. I thought it was really, really funny. So if you want, this would go really well if you were going to pick up the Thor that we were looking at last show. And it's funny because
you could fudge it in with a Gladiator Thor as well.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I think the trousers here are specific to the movie, but it doesn't matter. And it's quite good because I think we were talking about how we thought the Thor's suit was a little bit too blingy with the gold and stuff, but when you see the film, you understand why, because he's kind of trying to outdo.
Makes sense.
He's trying to outdo Jane, so he kind of, and so it does make sense. So this would be good to go with. But it's a shame it doesn't come with Mick, the little beetle guy. It should have come with Mick, because Mick's in the new film.
Is it in Infinity War where he goes, "No, he's dead. I've just been."
Yeah, Mick's dead. Yeah. It's like, oh no, he's not dead. And I like Mick, so it should have come with a Mick. Apart from that, I quite like it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's great that they're doing these bigger figures, kind of filling out the line a bit.
Yeah.
So, and now we go to a villain, the Mars Toys Black Soldier, 190 quid at Q1 2023. I quite like this. I think this looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that it looks like most of it is a render. Like it doesn't look like. It looks like do you know like really basic PC graphics from the 90s? It kind of looks like that, like Final Fantasy CGI. Yeah. I mean, if it comes out, it looks anything like this, it'd be great. And as well, for 190 quid's a bit expensive. So it's the light up stuff, isn't it? Probably adds quite a bit to that. Yeah.
It's quite intricate.
Mars Toys generally have been pretty good.
Yeah.
The Jokers were good that they've done.
Yeah, and it's good because there was a guy doing custom ones of these, wasn't there, at one point? But I don't know if they really ever he actually got any out the door or not.
Don't think he ever did.
No, they were quite pricey. So if you really wanted this character, it's a good one to get. I think looks all right.
I think a few people got stung on that one.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Same as Cyborg. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the same guy.
Yeah.
So that was the Black Soldier. Now we got the Fiend by JF Studios, 140 quid, which is a bit more like it. Q4 2022. So look, if you don't have an amazing Spider-Man, and you want a sickly-looking Victorian man, then then this is what you can go for. He's got the wasting disease. Like it's just. Yeah.
He's got the blood poisoning.
In his pocket, he's got a little hanky that occasionally he just coughs blood into.
Yeah, tuberculosis.
Yeah. And then he goes and beats his manservant. This is 140.
You can make this guy what you want, really.
You really can.
It's a bad quality Jack Dawson from Titanic. He's got the wooden planks there, so.
Yeah,
that works.
If you ordered Jack Dawson from Wish, this is what you would get.
Yeah, this Mark, this is Norman Osborn's son, isn't it? From the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man 2, because he takes the juice, doesn't he? He does, and he kills Gwen.
Yes, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
This is when he's a normal boy, when he's starting to go all ill and sickly.
Yeah.
It's just. I mean, look, it looks like him.
It does look like him. Yeah.
There's a reason why he's like that in the film, but I don't know why you'd want a figure of a sickly boy on your shelf.
No, I mean if they'd done him in the goblin suit with the glider and stuff, would make more sense. Because how are you going to pose this? He's never dressed like this in the company of Spider-Man. Yes, Peter Parker he is, but you know,
Yeah.
it's
And those
it's
hands
very odd.
those are very a weird selection.
Yeah,
of hands.
what's the splayed left hand for?
That's for him to cough blood into.
Yeah.
Like that. Doesn't hand like that. Very weird. Very, very weird.
Yeah.
So, moving swiftly on, we now have So-So Toys Homelight. I think we know who this is. £125 at Q1 2023.
Seems so cheap.
It seems very, very cheap. It looks really good though.
It does. Yeah.
It's So-So Toys can get the boys' figures spot on. Star Race.
Yeah, I didn't put any of those
absolutely-
pictures in, but they're bad, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that Homelander was bad, and Butcher is not looking much
The
better.
best part though was when they turn around and they put another picture up going, there's some photos going around that don't do it justice. Here's the paintwork, and it was like, it still looks shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it still looks like Butcher's wearing guy liner. It just, what the fuck are you doing? But the annoying thing is with Star Race is you see some really talented artists working for them, and they put the renders up, and they look fantastic.
Yeah.
They then get hold of them, and I don't know what the fuck they do with them, but they just destroy them.
Yeah.
So when you've got like a third-party company who can do this, you kind of think, the fuck are you doing,
like
Star Race?
like Zach was saying, it looks like they cast it out of that really soft plastic. You can just squidge the head in.
That's it,
Like
yeah.
from
like an old 90s action man.
Yeah. Well, not even like the Action Men we had were much better than that. But when they like re-released them in like the 90s, they had that soft, like squidgy head. Yeah,
Exactly that. Yeah.
Well, I forget that's probably the ones you know because you're 10 years younger than me. But
No, the ones
I used to have
had
the
were-
eagle eyes with the
Yeah.
pubic
so the ones I
hair.
had, that's what I had with eagle eyes, and then you had
And the
and it
beards
was-
and that.
yeah. So I remember the very first like Doctor X that came out with the
Right.
with the glowing hand and the big mohawk.
Yeah,
But
that's
they
where it went
were
all weird
proper-
then.
Well, yeah. So that was all right, and then after that, they then started to do all the squishy-headed. It was
Yeah.
when my brother started getting into Action Men, and he's like 4 or 5 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And it's like, the fuck is that?
That was the death
what
of it.
the
Like
hell
when
is
we
that?
had it, it was like proper. It was just proper army. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
There was no fantastical stuff. It was
You
all.
you could just buy outfits on like.
Oh, I used to
carpet
love
backs
that.
With all
I
the
remember
different
getting
guns
the-
and stuff.
Yeah, I remember getting the like the snow disguise one for Christmas
That's it.
one year with the skis and that. Oh man, I was just so excited about that.
I
Brilliant.
had one. It was a bright yellow and black scuba suit with the tank
Mm-hmm.
and everything and the flippers. Yeah. See, we've gone completely off topic, but
Yeah.
Action Men or GI Joes,
Yeah.
the Americans will know
Yeah.
as, but we got the big ones, the big
Yeah,
12-inch
and they were brilliant. They were really good.
And he had a
Like,
tattoo on his arm. The ones I had.
Yeah,
He had a tattoo
and they
on
had
his
the
arm. With
they had the
M,
blue
which was
pants.
Black and white. That's it.
blue pants to
With the
preserve
moulded-
their modesty.
With the moulded belt.
Yes.
On the pants.
Yeah.
was like-
Yeah.
Like, is he not
Yeah.
quite elasticated underwear?
No,
Like, it's so weird. But
No.
but anyway, yeah, this I quite like.
it does look good. Did somebody somebody said that they that the is it I don't know who makes, obviously Amazon show it here, but like the producers of The Boys are they trying to stop is there a legal thing going on? Somebody said something about it, but I don't know if
I don't know. I've not.
they're
I've
trying
not
to,
heard. It wouldn't.
to be honest, yeah, it's a because obviously they've sold the license to Star Ace, but they must be looking at it thinking, oh fucking hell, we've chosen the wrong ones here.
100%.
Yeah.
Definitely. I would be. And sometimes I think when they come after some of these, you think it's because they're doing it better.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're going off. Shit, man. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
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 But it looks
It's
really
'cause they're
good
doing
for
it
the
way
price. It's
better.
fantastic.
It's really good. Really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So back over to 3-0 now for Game of Thrones. Sandor the Hound.
No, we've got God of War
no,
first.
sorry.
Shark Toys. That's all right.
Yes, sorry, yeah. Shark Toys, 140 quid. Ghost of Sparta, Again, a game people played fucking like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. See, I'd much rather have the original Kratos, to be honest. Like from probably the second game was the one that was my favourite. I think back in the day.
To be fair, like you could probably ditch the head sculpt, get someone
Yeah.
to make a new one.
Well, it's the beard is the biggest problem really. But it looks alright, and for the price,
140
Good.
quid.
yeah, and all the joints are covered up, so you haven't
Yeah.
got to worry about the ugly like elbow joints or knee joints, so that kind of works. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they're
alright,
hidden pretty
it's
well.
alright. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's alright. It doesn't.
And they'd be to see
doesn't
whether
offend me.
whether they bring out the his son as well, because really they go together. I mean, that game's all about that
Yeah, if you've got
team, isn't it?
Yeah, if you've got this, you kind of do need his son as well.
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah, exactly.
So 3-0.
There we go. Yeah,
There we go. 3-0. The Hound. This is the Season 7 version, 180 quid at Q4 2022. So 3-0 can give you this for 180
yeah,
and 11 for 180.
or 11. Yeah, yeah. I know which one I'd be choosing.
Yeah. I think this. I mean, I like the look of this. Is that real hair on it? Or?
Yeah. Because they did that with the original one. So they had a Season 1 version, and to be honest, it looked really good. I think. Again, that probably needed a bit of a repaint. This looks better, but obviously, this is a prototype, so you're not going to get quite as good in production. But yeah, it does look really cool. I mean, I probably wouldn't buy it because I prefer the armor and stuff from the earlier series. So maybe the best one would be to have that one and get the upgraded head to go with it. But yeah, and again, it's funny, isn't it? It's like, who's still collecting? I know Dean's got quite a few of them, hasn't he? The Game of Thrones figures.
I think people would probably be a little bit more into it if it hadn't ended the way it ended.
Well, that's the trouble. It really soured it. That's probably what stopped me starting collecting them, to be honest. Because I had got the Jon Snow on order, and I think I just completely lost interest with it, and so.
But yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like they just kind of. You've got to be a real hardcore fan at this state.
And I really was, but yeah, I think that put a lot of people off, and to the point where you're like, well, actually, I don't want to spend this much money on these characters that were basically turned into like shitty versions of themselves from like the whole of the rest of it.
What doesn't help for me is that it's always a bastard to try and find somewhere to stream it, because we don't have HBO Max. You've got Sky, or that's it. It's not on any other streaming service.
No.
So it's kind of like, I'd like to sit and watch them all again, but I have to do that downstairs in the front room, when actually I'd quite like to just be able to stream it while I'm doing something, like while I'm painting or something like that.
But you could pick them up dirt cheap on Blu-ray or something now. We get the whole lot for like 20 quid.
Same difference. I've still got. I'd then have to just plug it into my PlayStation or my
Oh,
Xbox.
I see. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I think TV programs that are only on certain streaming networks, tend to not reach. You don't have that replayability on. So.
No, and to be honest, it is a very replayable series, but just with that like bitter note pill to swallow at the end, that it's going to go shit. So you're like, I'm loving this season. This season's great. This one's great. I'm getting closer and closer to the really shit one, because my favourite by far is the first season. I absolutely love it because it's kind of building up all the mystery and the tension.
You could kind of get to the bit where Arya stabs the Night King and just turn it off.
Yeah, you could before Daenerys decides to.
You could turn it off and just forget the rest.
You could. Maybe that's a good way of doing it. Yeah.
Just go nope.
Yeah.
Nope,
all over.
Anymore.
Lovely. And they all lived happily ever after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
that's a shame, but.
So this is 180, right? 11 was 180. Yet Lucas Sinclair, 150 quid. When I compare Lucas with 11, now albeit 11 comes with 2 head sculpts,
that'll be the difference. Yeah.
It just seems this is so much cheaper. 150. I think this looks pretty good.
It does look good. It's good likeness.
I think this looks pretty good.
Obviously, I suppose the issue you've got with collecting these are, if not season 1, season 2, very early on. Yeah. Because obviously, having just watched season 4, these guys are grown up. They're not kids anymore.
I really think stuff like Stranger Things, the pandemic has absolutely scuppered them. Because of before they were kind of doing 1 a year, and you were kind of, they were getting older, but you could kind of go, okay, that they're aging, and that's not a problem. But with this last series, it's like, hang on a sec. Like, particularly, it wasn't too bad until they started to do flashbacks to the last series, and that's when I was like, oh fuck, like. Yeah.
I know, it's so different. Like,
because the actual flashbacks with 11, that worked absolutely fine. I was just like, oh yeah, she was a lot younger in the first series, but I didn't. Yeah. It's when they flash back with Vecna and that, when he's got what's her face, the girl who loves Kate Bush, and she keeps looking back to like the previous series. I was like,
Max.
Yeah, I was like, "Whoa, Max, you were young." And
you're not so young now. And Will as well is really like. So. Yeah, so always with these things with kids, it's very much like, do you want to collect like the early, like season 1, and are they going to go into the? Because like Star Race did the same with Harry Potter. The year 1 figures were really popular, and people were collecting those, and they did go further in. But I think just it got to a point where, how many versions of that character do you want and stuff like that. So it'd be nice if they can kind of get the set out and be done with it. But it's still.
If they did a set from Series 1 with them dressed as the Ghostbusters, you could have my money now.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Season 2.
Was it season 2?
But yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that would be really cool. But because obviously we've still got quite a few characters left, and if they'll do, they need to do a hopper really at some point, stuff like that. But it looks pretty good. But it's coming very late when they're season 1 figures, and we've just had season 4, and they, as I say, they look very different now. So it's a tricky one. I don't know whether how popular it'll be or not. Particularly if you want a representation, you can pick up the 20 quid NECA figures that were really good as well.
Yeah, it doesn't help that with 6 scale, particularly when there's 6 scale kids, the clothes always look too big anyway. Yeah. So it doesn't help. It just makes them look even.
This one just looks weird because of the massive belt pouch things he's got on.
Yeah.
So it just looks like he's really fat, but it's a bit odd.
That was Stranger Things, which was awesome.
It was really good. Yeah,
it was very, very good. Topo Toys or Topo Toys. Batman the Dark Knight Joker, the bank robber suit for 130 quid at Q3 2022. I've seen this on a body and it looked really good. It looks very, very similar to the Daft Toys.
Yeah, I mean it's not cheap. But if the quality's there, then it's probably a worthwhile purchase. It looks pretty good. Clothing, tailoring looks good.
Yeah, and the thing is, again, it's one of those if you wanted this, you've got it by now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
I've
again,
got the Joker, and it's a great figure. I think I've got the Hot Toys first release. I've never felt the need to upgrade it.
Yeah, and what are we? We're about 10 years on, aren't we, from Dark Knight now?
Yeah. It was one of these figures I bought off of eBay. And it was missing the shotgun. And they were like, "Oh, the leg's broken." So I got it boxed, just missing the shotgun, for 100 quid. And this was 2 years ago. And I was like, right. Not a problem. I can either fix the body or I body swap it. Turned up and I was like, "There's nothing wrong with it. It's not broken at all. There's nothing. I don't know what they'd done to it. Or they thought they'd broken it." But I was like, "This is fine. It's absolutely fine."
Yeah.
But yeah, I like. I don't know if that mask comes off or it just stays on. It looks like it's just one bit that stays on.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
But to be fair, I've never once taken... Oh, no, I'm just saying him without the mask on. Didn't even notice. He's down in the bottom corner.
Right, okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, it's good. Yeah.
Yep. And then Star Race Toys, the villain of the piece. This is Harryhausen. This is Medusa. The collector's edition is £300 and the deluxe is £400. It's at Q1 2023. So this is all you, Pete. This is
So this is from the 1980s. I think it was 81. Clash of the Titans. One of Harryhausen's very best. Probably one of his last ones as well, I think, because the 80s kind of brought in the start of that whole CGI kind of thing, and obviously the whole stop motion stuff kind of died out with possibly with like the original Star Wars trilogy and things like that. But I've talked about it before. I absolutely love this film, and like last week we talked about Pegasus, and I would like to make a Perseus figure and stuff like that. And then this just dropped. I was like, oh wow. Harry Hamlin, definitely, because Star Race are putting out a Pegasus as well, but it's a statue and it's a lot more expensive than that other one we looked at last week, and obviously there isn't a Perseus to ride it, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to have it on its own. But this I absolutely love. This is like the most for me the most iconic Harryhausen creation. She's fucking scary. Like that scene where he goes into her. I remember watching
it as a kid, like because it was always one of those programs. It was on like mid-afternoon.
Yeah,
so watch it thinking, it's gonna.
I grew up on the reruns of all of his stuff, like the Sinbads, and love it. And that the scene where he goes in to get Medusa's head, because he needs to cut her head off, because he needs to use her head to turn the Kraken to stone at the end. But obviously he can't look at her, so it's all done through he's got a really reflective shield. But she's badass, and like she's got a bow and arrow, and I love it. So I'm really tempted because I've always wanted this figure, but it's very it's expensive. It's not posable or anything like that. I never had a soft vinyl figure, so I don't really know like what to expect from it really.
I think it's pretty much a statue in it. It's not gonna move. But to be fair, would you move it too much?
No, not at all. I'm not bothered about the base, which adds like another £100. I can live without that. That's fine. Yeah, Calabos is really cool. Such a great movie. I want to watch it now. So yeah, maybe I'll pick one up. It is really cool. It looks really good. And I was like looking at it, and I was thinking, there's like it looks like it's like a seam line. But then I'm wondering whether that is to make it, because that was on the original. Maybe that was on the original maquette.
Yeah.
So maybe because I thought that looks a bit naff, but then I need to really go and look at the actual like the film, because it may well be that was part of the process of making it, and they've kind of recreated that.
If it's in the film,
yes, correct.
Fair play.
In which case, I love it. If it's not, I hate it. So I want to sort of check that out. But it is pretty cool. I haven't seen anywhere that's like in the UK that's selling it yet. I know that Aaron has been selling a lot of the Star Race stuff, and it seems like they really shit with some stuff. Like the boys things. But all of these have been brilliant. I mean, there's been a lot of these. There's tons of these.
But that's probably because stuff from Clash of the Titans looked like old toys, so they're very good at that kind of look without meaning to. So they nail shit like this all day long because it's meant to look bad. That was the point. That's the thing. It's when they try and produce something that's meant to look realistic. That
and
they
also
fall down.
They're working with this other company, X Plus, that are doing the sculpting, so that kind of helps as well.
Yeah.
But no, I might have to. If Aaron puts it up, I might have to order it because I've always wanted one, and I think I'll kick myself if I don't. if I don't get one. And she can futz in with my Conan or something like that, And if they ever did do a Harry Hamlin Perseus, then I'd be all over that, definitely.
But to be fair, you could probably kit bash one.
Yeah, it's just his face. He's got a very, very distinct look about him.
We know enough digital sculptors now that you.
I suppose so. Yeah. Yeah.
Print and paint.
Oh, it's such a cool film. I mean, a lot of people can't get past these old school special effects, and they're like, "Oh, I can't watch that. It looks shit." But I think if you've got a real appreciation for kind of how amazing these were at the time, and my boy, we watched like one of the Sinbads, Golden Voyage of Sinbad, I think, and he loved it, and he didn't like go, "Oh, that looks really shit" and everything. He got swept up in it like I did, and it's just love it. There's like the bit where the blood from her head, that it seeps into the ground, and all of a sudden these like giant scorpions and stuff. It's really cool.
I think like if you like special effects now, they don't look like. My problem is they don't look like they're there. They have no weight to them.
No.
So,
no.
But with the practical effects, they felt like they had weight. All right, they may not look as good, but then I'd rather have something like this than the fucking Scorpion King. Like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was awful.
I mean?
And I look and I watch those films. Yeah, they did. Yeah, Jason the Argonauts as well. Yeah, and you just think. Like, you just look at it and see how much work. Like, there's one, the one we're watching this, I think it's Golden Voyage of Sinbad, and it's got like an 8-armed statue, and they're fighting on it. You're thinking, just to even choreograph that sequence and then to animate it, and it goes on for like 5 minutes, and you're like, Jesus Christ! I mean, so
it took weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah, months. So, they've done loads of these, and I could quite happily have all of them in my collection, but very big money. Like, some of them are a lot more expensive than this because they're like twice the size. But I think I'm going to have to find a way to pick this little beauty up.
So over on the Weird and Wonderful, Art Toys are doing Xenomorph eggs, green and brown versions for £35 each out September 2022. These are pretty cool. I think if you've got
they look cool.
If you've got some Marines or a few aliens, for £35,
it's just funny how these pop up because it was a company called Fire Toys, Fire Girl or something. Fire Toys,
something like that.
They did some eggs and some because I picked and some face huggers because I picked up 3-pack of the face huggers and they had the chest burster as well, and they did eggs as well. That was probably about 5-6 years ago. So it's funny that whether it's the same company and they just renamed themselves or not, but they're pretty good. But as you say, it's very specific to if you've managed to put, like, I've got an Aliens collection, but it's not something that you can put together today because there aren't any.
It's one of those franchises that you think, when you look at all the other figures you can buy that have been redone and redone and redone, Alien just doesn't get touched.
No.
You've had a couple of Ripleys, a few Marines, but the Marines are very, very old now. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no third party has done a Marine.
Yeah. To be honest, yeah. I mean, it's a complicated suit of armor, but then we've seen them, third parties do other stuff like that. It makes sense. I mean, they are the thing with them is all of the armor and the equipment, the guns and stuff is top notch still. Like, you probably couldn't do it any better, but obviously you've got to replace the bodies, you've got to replace the sculpts. There's a lot of expense and work involved with them. I think it's always right at the top of people's lists. Like, what would you want Hot Toys to get back into? Aliens. They did the Alien. They've done the Alien. They did the Xenomorph 5 years ago. Odd choice when they didn't bring out anything else to go with it. They did the Ripley from Alien to go with the big chap that they'd done 5-6 years before that. It's just it's a shame. It's a shame.
Badfish. Okay, done well. Come back in the chat. Jesus, come back to what looks like big meat.
Jesus Christ.
That is a very, very good point. That is a very good point.
Yeah, well,
So
I purposely didn't put in the other view of the face huggers where it looks like they've got a dirty, great flange on their underside.
Yeah, nice.
I thought we might get pulled for that one, but
we've been pulled for worse. So while we're in space and
yeah.
no one can hear us scream, we have this that will never come out. The 6-scale Naboo Starfighter, so the Shannon Summer showcase. It looks very pretty, but it's never going to happen.
No, that's very cool. It's 1.8 meters long, 1.2 meters wide. They'll never make it, but it's cool to see. And they've got a few of their figures in there. They've got Grogu and Mando. Obviously, can't tell which version that is, whether it's the newer one or the previous one. Yeah, should be the new one. Obviously, if it's continuity. You've got the Jar and the Gonk that came out a couple of years ago. And interestingly, they've dragged out R5 again, which they've never released.
In 2 seconds, I scare my cat.
Yeah, of course. So Sideshow bought out an R5 D4 years ago. And he goes for quite a lot of money now. And Hot Toys have kind of teased him a few times, but never actually produced him. So, and they probably still won't either. But I don't know. It's a cool ship. I mean, I loved that episode. I've always loved the Naboo Starfighter anyway. But yeah, they'll never make it. Whether Yoast will or not, I don't know. But the size, I mean, it's just immense because it's just got that massive long tail on it. So it's kind of, it's gonna, be too big for. But it's cool. I like it when they make when they made the full the 1/6 scale whole Millennium Falcon a few years ago. It's just lovely. It's great to see, but you would never envisage having that actually in your house.
They're nice kind of showpieces, but
they are.
Too big.
Yeah, they're there to just show off the figures and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
more
very cool.
It's look, we can do it, but we're just not going.
It's a dream. It's a what if. Yeah. But it was worth having a look at because there's some cool. I didn't go over the board. I didn't really go and bring out because we've seen all the figures and everything. But obviously there are some videos that's worth checking out. Some tours of the showcase, and then you get a good look at some of the figures and everything. Worth having a look at.
Yeah. So look, let's see what shit people have got.
Shenanigans!
What? Horrendous.
This is where you're saying I had a lucky escape.
I had a very lucky escape. I'm glad I cancelled. Top photos look fantastic, and I'd have that any day. The ones below are just. I mean, Anakin, not too bad. You can fudge the paint on that, not a problem. Obi-Wan, those robes look completely different. The body looks completely different.
It's so out of proportion. That head's far too small for that body.
Yeah, it's just not great at all. I don't know why. Sideshow just horrendous.
Yeah. So these aren't actually out, but they're imminent, aren't they? Because this was like a first look kind of video.
Yeah. So this was the unsealed and revealed that they did, and I just.
To be honest, I'd got to the point I thought they were never going to come out. To be honest, I thought they just probably sacked them off. But
and then they just showed Ahsoka today as well. Just announced
I didn't
Ahsoka,
like that.
And it's just so bad. There's just no good things to say about this. Just so bad.
Interesting. Just to go back to the last one, Badfish says yes. I noticed. But I wonder if it will be the Jawa and Gonk. Yeah. So when they originally brought out that Jawa and Gonk set, the rumours or the leaked information was that it was going to be another pack that had the Jawa and R5D4 with it, but it never saw the light of day. So I don't know what happened with that, because I'd have been more interested in that than the Gonk, because the Gonk's just like a big plastic box, a hollow box that doesn't really justify the price they were charging. But
no, it's mental.
But yeah, so you cancelled these a while back, so you...
Yeah, I wouldn't touch anything the Sideshow have made figure-wise. Statues are right, but anything I wouldn't bother with. So have you guys worried about? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. No, I've ordered the present toys because it's worrying, isn't it, when you have got more faith in a fairly recent, fairly new third-party company than Sideshow that've been doing this for 30, 40 years, and they can't.
I can forgive them fucking up bodies and shit like that because these would have to be completely newly designed bodies. But the heads are very simple, and less is more with animated. But this just looks...
Yeah.
It looks like they've not even bothered to apply paint to the actual skin tone. It's just they've made that the colour of the plastic. It just... just bad. And... the bodies have to be that lean kind of V shape.
Yeah, exactly. And to not make the heads look too small. Yeah. Although Anakin's looks too big, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, otherwise you might as well just use normal 6-scale bodies and just shove them on that, which was the whole argument in the first place. Just fucking horrendous.
And that's the whole point. Like the whole look of the animated is these clean lines, isn't it? Doesn't have all the wrinkles and stuff. And obviously that's not... You can't perfectly do that when you're using real materials, but you can, the top picture of Obi-Wan, that looks right, whereas the one below is like, they don't animate it like that with all those wrinkles and stuff. It's a very clean look, so it just doesn't work.
It's just so shit. Shit.
Fuck Sideshow.
Yeah, fuck them. I just, you just... so bad, and they fucked up so much, and it's just
what a cunt.
I've said many times over, the only decent figure they put out in recent years really is that Obi-Wan, the Mythos one, which probably they did well when they did the V2 and they did the single bend elbows, and all the weathering was shit. But if you can get the original one, it's a solid figure, and obviously, like you've printed off a couple of heads from the recent series and stuff, and stick them on. That looks bloody brilliant. And the Lando Skiff Guard was decent as well. Yeah, the head sculpt was shit. I picked it up loose without the separate head sculpt, and with the full helmet on, you can't really see it anyway. But everything else on it was really good. But most of the time, you're going to get shit. It's probably not. Definitely, I would never pre-order anything from them. Both of those I bought after they'd come out, and I'd seen them in hand. Seen a lot of videos and stuff, and knew that they were okay.
You didn't pay full price for them.
Correct. No, I wouldn't ever pre-order.
The price there. If they said these are 120 quid, fine, I'd buy them as a project. But
yeah,
they're not. They're a lot of money. No. And I just can't be doing it. They were massively delayed, and they're just shit. They're just playing us for mugs at the moment. It's just...
And that Yoda looked good, but they'll
fuck that
up somehow as well. Yeah, exactly.
They will fuck that up as well.
And if these don't sell, then they might as well just
they've killed
draw a line. They've
killed it before it's even out. It's just such a waste of time. So let's have a look at what you've been up to, Pete.
Custom corner.
Yeah, it's funny.
The more I talk about those figures, the more I'm just going to get angry. So we'll just move on to something.
Yeah. I'm kind of hijacking custom corner because it's normally your stuff here because you're painting and you're 3D printing and stuff. So
the problem is I've been working the last 3 weekends on the trot, so I've just very, very tired and not had a chance to touch anything.
Yeah.
So
Need what a cunt shirt, that'd be good. So as you know, I've started painting some D&D miniatures because my son's got into painting. He's doing the World War II like bolt action stuff, but for me it's old school D&D. So I've been picking up a few figures and doing some painting. And to be honest, it's been more fun and easier than I expected because I just thought it'd be a nightmare because they're so tiny. And everything, but actually they're not that bad once you get a technique as to like which colour to put down first, and then and don't get me wrong, I had to repaint the wizard because I went and matte coated him, and the grey hadn't dried properly, so it fucked it up. So I stripped him off. I put him under hot water, took the whole lot off, started again, and he's come out better. So you know it was worth doing. But yeah, I'm really enjoying them. I've got some more. I've got some dwarves and some elves and stuff. But yeah, I absolutely love them. And that ice effect has come out really well.
Yeah, it's come out great.
That was actually off the Beholder, because I showed the Beholder last show, and that came with some eyes with the effects, but I didn't want to use them on him. So I just cut that off, and I've got this. This is what the paint that I used back in the day when I did that glow in the dark Sting. So it's two paints. There's like the blue underneath, and then you put on it's like a glittery over paint, which will glow as well. It just looks perfect for like ice effects or something. So yeah, I've just been loving them really. So looking forward to. I'm kind of pacing myself as well because I don't want to just rush through them all, and I want to take my time on them and get them looking right and everything. So I've bought a few more little brushes and some metallic pens, like small ones and stuff like that. And yeah.
So in Games Workshop, they do a Lord of the Rings stuff.
They do.
That's
yes.
That scale. That might be worth having a look at.
Yeah, I've been having a look. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're pretty good actually. And that people do like good custom ones as well. And obviously a lot of people are making a lot of money because they're 3D printing these and then selling these at £6 a go. So these are 3D printed, but I've not been. The ones I've got to paint, I've been picking up the 2-packs from that Wayland Games, and they're only like £4 for 2. And I've sent you some files to have a go at printing because Hero Forge. Have you been on there?
No.
Go on, it's brilliant. You basically could design your own character from scratch. So you pick your class and what species you are and everything, and just build it up. And you can tweak absolutely everything. So like once you've got all the armor and the weapons, you can tweak the exact angle of all the arms and things like that. When you finished it, so it's all completely free. You can save as many as you like. Then you can buy them. So you can either you buy the STL file is $7, or if you haven't got access to that, you could buy a plastic printed one. You could buy a printed painted one. You can buy them in bronze. Whatever, and then the price just goes up and up. But it's really cool. So I'm very interested to see how that comes out. And I think there was a couple of freebies they sent as well. So I sent you those as well. I think there's a paladin and a monk or something. Thought I'd have a look at them. But
cool.
and then obviously like with yourself, it's a lot cheaper than 1/6, and it's kind of it's all your own work because you can kind of make them. You can pick your own colours, and obviously I've gone very very Gandalf on the wizard. That was always the aim there. But yeah, it's really good. So
they look really good.
Expect to see some more of these coming up over the coming weeks. But yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, it's cool. And then you can talk about the Obi-Wan sculpt. Yeah,
so Inigo is at it again. He has updated his Obi-Wan sculpt and done a old Obi, just to show that it can be done. So not.
Yeah,
so if you do pre-order the Hot Toys one, there is hope out there. Whether or not he releases it or not is a separate issue. But,
well, and also the fact that you're doubling the price of the figure. Because these head sculpts are running over £100 unpainted now. But
and you've got to paint them.
But it looks great.
There are options out there. Like you don't have to go.
No, and obviously we all know somebody that can paint, and I'm sure you know. But no, the one you got, the Revenge of the Sith one, was fantastic, and obviously this is a tweaking of that. But this does look really good.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. So even if I don't have a Mythos, well, I could get it and put it on my Mythos Obi for sure. So I'm just keeping an eye on that, seeing if he does actually release it. But
I think as you say with that Hot Toys one, if they don't sort that out, then I think he's timed it well.
Very well.
You know,
Very, very well.
if you pair this up with that one or whatever other version they bring out, you know, it's going to look banging.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was it for Custom Corner. So, Pete, you've been to the cinema, haven't you?
I have. I didn't
I probably won't see this until it's on Disney Plus. But,
no, that's cool. I'm not going to spoil anything. I didn't see it in Screen X. That's just the poster I got. I went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder on Saturday morning with my boy and one of his schoolmates and his dad, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've heard a lot of criticism about it, but as I said before, I loved it. I find it hilarious. The Thor films for me have very much become like comedies with the Guardians and stuff like that. It's very much the more light-hearted side. If you compare it to, say, the Multiverse of Madness, which was the film just before it, like very serious tone in that. There's not a lot of laughs in that. This was just great fun, and I caught myself laughing quite hard on some bits. My favourite bit being that at the end, Thor's cooking some pancakes, and he refers to them as, he says they're called pan flaps, and I found that hilarious. Pan flaps. It makes them sound so filthy and ugh.
Flaps, fucking brilliant.
So yeah, I would recommend seeing it. So if you're not going to go to the cinema, I'm sure we'll probably be watching this in September on Disney Plus, the way things go. So not going to take long at all, but yeah, really good. There's some hilarious stuff. There's a brilliant cameo from Russell Crowe we were talking about earlier, playing Obi-Wan. You can see him there. He's in the middle. His use with the lightning bolt, but he's fucking hilarious. Really good. And and then the other one I watched was Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe.
So I didn't realise that was even out yet.
This
on. It looked really good.
I saw the trailer for it a while back, and I thought it'd be at the cinema, but it's a Paramount Plus original movie, and so Paramount Plus just dropped here in the UK a couple of weeks ago. So you could either get it through Sky, or if you want to do it app-wise, weirdly, it's through the Apple TV app. Because I was searching for it on the Xbox and it didn't come up, and then I googled it, and you go into Apple. So I don't think you have to have a. I have got Apple TV, but if you, I think you can just use it as a portal to get through to Paramount. So Paramount's going to be £6 a month, I think, but I've just got a week's free trial because I wanted to watch this film, and I've been watching a bit of the Strange New Worlds as well.
I'm going to wait until Strange New Worlds is done.
I would, and then just
I'll do
watch
the
it in
weeks
it.
and watch it in a week.
Yeah, definitely. Beavis and Butthead to the Universe. It is what it is. If you don't love Beavis and Butthead, you're going to hate the film. It's like you've just gone back in time 20, 30 years. It's the same humour, the same animation, the same absolute stupidity. But I loved it. It's really good. It's very, very retro, but really funny. Cornholio.
I used to love Beavis.
Cornholio is fantastic. It's just like, Beavis and Butthead, and I kind of grew up on that stuff. That was my humour, and I can vividly remember some of the favourite episodes and stuff. Like the one Choke was my favourite episode ever, where a Butthead gets a chicken nugget caught in his throat, and he spends like the whole episode just basically dying, to the point where he's about to die, and something happens, and he I think Beavis lands on his stomach or something, and this nugget comes flying out, and all of a sudden like the colour comes back to him and he's alive, and then Beavis sees it on the floor and he's like, yeah, chicken nugget, throws it into his mouth, and it gets caught in his throat, and then he starts choking and dying as well. I just love that. But
I need to go back and watch. It's been years and years since I watched it.
And I wondered whether I would still like it, but I did love it. And I might sneak in another watch before my my week's trial ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good fun.
Cool.
But apart from that, Strange New Worlds and Halo, there's probably not a lot else on there at the moment. I would say that's worth watching.
No, I finished watching Stranger Things. I've done that. Now I'm going to start again.
Yeah, we finished that and Umbrella Academy.
A couple of episodes left of Umbrella Academy and a couple left of The Boys as well.
I haven't started The Boys yet because I was just finishing Strange New Worlds, and then I'll watch The Boys afterwards. But I think go forward, Paramount might be an option, or it might be one that you kind of dip in and out, because I have heard that they're gonna, like, things like Maverick and stuff will debut on there, and things like that. So it's going to be one that's probably worth dipping in and out in the future. But at the moment, it's probably not worth paying the monthly subscription. But yeah,
cool. So that's pretty much us, isn't it?
There we go. Yeah, another good show. Good show. Up to 20 odd viewers, so it was good. Still got 16. So
the die hard carrying on.
Yeah. So before everybody just disappears now, let's do a thumbs up if you're. Oops. Why did they go on a screen? Right. Yep. Give us a like or a thumbs up. Subscribe. We're pushing on for 2,000. Trying to get to 2,000. I think we can't be that far off now. So yeah, get your subscriptions in. Tell everybody that you know to subscribe. And get us over the 2K mark. So it's time of the show to thank our beautiful, wonderful, sweet angel Patreons. Sean Fear, Ian Seeby, Rena Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan. A lot of these guys in the chat here. It's great to see you. Chris Van Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, João Barreda, Danny Lee, Dini Martin, Stephen Crett, Big Fern, King Zach, Caesar Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Rick De Gregorio, John the Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Asusina, the Illustrious Rainer, Ali Morgan, Takar3, Wah, Derek Bezinski, Carlos Savija, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PS, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Jimmy James, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Just Mental, and Brenton Palmer. Thank you all very much. Your continued support is much appreciated. Great to see you all, like so many of you being like active part of the shows and chats and everything. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's like a really kind of close-knit community, and it'd be great to meet up with some of you at Star Wars Celebration next year. Hopefully some of our US pals might be there as well, which would be really good.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good one.
Yeah. So we have also so if you would like to join the Patreon, you've got the entry tier Sweet Angel, $5 a month. Gets you a sticker sent straight to your door, as well as access to Ox After Dark replay. Certified Crispies, $15 a month. Gives you the all the benefits of the previous tier, plus an official certified Crispy certificate on the first pledge. And assistance with figure fixes by Zach, obviously pretty much US based, but you can always, as I say, message me or Ian if you've got anything. I think Ian Seeby is going to be sending you some. Is it the Dvorak chess thingies?
Yeah, little lead Star Wars figures that he's had that have got a bit picked
so you're going to glue them up and touch up the paint on them. So yeah, you can always give us a shout if you need any advice or help. And then the top tier What a Guy, $25 a month. You get a exclusive Pop Deluxe set on first pledge. Doubles all the stickers we send, so you can keep one for yourself and send one to your friends and family, and all the benefits of the previous tiers. So we're into July now, almost halfway through July. It's pretty crazy. So we've got the Icon CW reissue sticker, which apparently is the sticker that most people wanted to see come back, because I think it was quite an early one. A lot of people, missed out on those stickers. And we've got the John Collectors Club sticker. I'm not going to say anything rude about it because we got in trouble last show.
It still 100% looks like a penis.
Yeah, but
100%.
I think John was a little bit upset. I wasn't sure if he was like in on the joke or was a bit.
You can't get upset if you pick a sticker that looks like you've got a cock in your mouth. Like,
No.
he has eyes. He knows what it looks like, and he
Yeah.
knows what we like. He knows we're
I
going to
know.
point that out.
I know. And it's funny because my mate was over last night and he goes, "Oh, I put the I was driving back from somewhere with the missus, and she's like, "Oh, do you want to like if you want to put on the end of the podcast in the car, comes on." I start talking about cocks and all that, and she's like, "Yeah, you can listen to that when you get home."
Yeah. Yeah. That's one for you for at home.
Yeah. So anyway, so if you want that sticker, you know what to do. You can also become a YouTube channel member. We've got Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, Test1, DK Ranger 702, OMFG Rick, S Beam, Andres IB, Daminator, Sam Gist, Thomas Clark, Benjamin Hansen, Chris V. That's a new one there. OG Fan, Pemrikers, Mark Pearson. Love you, Mark. You're supporting us in every way you possibly can. Ben Thomas, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibo, CC3P, Lima Hernandez, Carlito, CT603, and Eddie Mendez. Good old Eddie. If you want to join that, if you're already a Patreon member, it's 99 cents a month. You get loyalty badges, emojis, and obviously a shout out on the show. Or you could just join this if you're not a Patreon. You could join the Peanut Gallery. Never understood the Peanut Gallery thing, but I think it's like John just having a go at people for saying silly things. Do you know where it comes from? Peanut Gallery?
No idea.
It's funny. Makes me laugh, but
Yeah, no idea. No idea.
But
No.
yeah, Peanut Gallery is $2.99 a month, and you get all the same shit as the Patreonies. We still have T-shirts. I don't know if people still buy them, but they're there to buy. They're pretty cool. Get yourself an OFAC one. Hopefully gonna. I've been talking to. Well, we've had a little chat with Zach about getting some T-shirts made up for Celebration next April, which would be quite nice to kind of like promote this podcast and the rest of the network and stuff when we're sneaking around in there. So maybe that'll be coming soon. I shall just drop a link here if people fancy getting some merch. And that's me done, and I'll leave you to take us through the rest of the network, mate.
So this is us. This is the network. We have Collecting Weekly, which collect things every week, oddly enough. After Dark, which is on after 6 o'clock in the evening, when it's very, very dark. Collecting Weekly live unboxing, where they open up their wares. Generally, it's a big Tesco shop that they unbox every week, which is great. OFAC, the jewel in the crown. We are the reason we're all here. You know, the reason the network's as strong as it is, if we're honest. Bricks and Brews, grown men drinking soft drinks and playing with Lego. Very nice. We have Collectors Club, which is what that sticker was about.
Smoking the pink cigar.
The sticker sums it all up. Got Small
Definitely.
Talk, which is the itty bitty things in life. The Ringcast, which is on who knows when, but it's all about Lord of the Rings. And
apparently there was
Dice.
God. So there was a new trailer for the Amazon show dropped today, which we haven't had a chance to look at yet. We're gonna have a look at it after the show. And I know Mark's keen to chat about that. So he is. He is. So he's hopefully there'll be something coming out in the next few days, whether it's an actual ringcast or not, or whether it's just kind of a little thing. But it's always good to see. I am looking forward to the show. Hope it's a banger. So the pictures I've seen so far look good.
Does look really good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then Live and Let Dice, which is all about Dungeons and Dragons, and Peter being with that. He's got his little models.
Yeah, I can't see myself playing the game. I just like painting the models. I'm not averse to I used to do a bit of D&D, but it's just a time sink, isn't it? Like you play the Warhammer stuff, and
you're looking at 4 hours, but it's a long stretch.
And like my missus said, "Oh, like they do it at so and so." And I said, "You complain about the number of nights I'm out a week as it is, and you're suggesting that I go and spend 6 hours on a Friday night doing D&D? I don't think so. So yeah, just painting them for now. But yeah, and we've also got collecting weekly clips. Check us out YouTube /collecting weekly. Just all the funny bits and pieces that John picks out and puts on there. Yeah, be some good laughs in there. I'm not sure if he's put the bit on about himself and the cigar. Probably not, but it should be on there because it was quite funny.
No, it was.
Yeah.
Selective editing there, I think.
Yeah.
Selective
Yeah.
editing.
So look at that. We've nailed the 2 hour mark exactly again now
Bang on.
this week. Yeah.
Bang on. Lovely. Cool.
Yeah.
That means we've got time to still watch a bit of telly and then go to bed.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Right. So we will love you, fine people, and leave you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Thanks for sticking with us, everybody, and have a good evening.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
See you in a couple of weeks. Bye.